Orange and Blue Sports Network, the official broadcast provider of Florida Gators club hockey. All season long, OBSN will have you covered both on and off the ice. This is Swamp Slapshot with Jamie Goldman and Rob Russo on the Orange and Blue Sports Network.
Welcome to another episode of Swamp Slapshot. I'm Jamie Goldman. As always, Rob Russo, and our player guest today is Noah Horwitz, the defenseman, sophomore from South Florida. Noah, welcome to the episode. Welcome to the pod. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So we got to start with the weekend you guys just had. I want to hear the good. I want to hear the bad. I want to hear the ugly. You guys went to the game. The football team played. You guys had 2 games against Tennessee. How was the weekend in Knoxville?
Well, there's obviously some good that comes out of everything, but definitely tough. We lost our last 4 in a row. The last 2 were definitely tough. You know, being in the bus for 11 hours to play a game and then lose always sucks. But, you know, just being with the guys, going on a road trip is always a good time. Being in Knoxville is pretty cool. And then that Sunday game, it was a little bit closer, but again, we lost. And last year we beat them 3 times, so this team wanted some redemption, and they definitely got it.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the ebb and flow of sports, though, you know? It's hard to beat the same team a bunch of times in a row, you know? They finally kind of came back and got you. But there's a lot of season left. You guys will be all right.
Yeah.
For sure. So did you guys travel with the D3 team as well?
Yeah, we all took one big bus up.
One big bus? That must have been quite a bus ride.
It was full.
Yeah.
It was a full bus.
Did you enjoy that experience of just like everyone packed on? I mean, that was a long bus ride. I know you mentioned that the bus ride was a little bit longer than expected.
Yeah, it was, you know, when you map it, it's like 8 hours. So you kind of like schedule for 10, and it was more like 11, 12. So that the D3 team was really scrambling to get all their gear on and make it on the ice.
So because they played before you guys?
Yeah, they played before us.
Wow. So you guys traveled on game day?
Yeah.
Friday.
Friday morning.
And then you had a game that night.
Yep.
That's tough.
It's
After
tough.
an 11-hour bus ride, and
It's
then you
tough,
got to get
yeah.
off the bus and get your legs going and get ready to play.
So D3 played at a rink like 20 minutes away, and we dropped them off, and then we went to the Knoxville Civic Center Coliseum, I think it's called. And it's like kind of like in the heart of Knoxville. Wow. So we got out of the bus, walked to the city, and just like was scrambling for food. So we got some, and then ran back to the rink.
Find some food real quick. Yeah. Get back to the rink. Get our gear on, and get on the ice.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's quite a scramble. That sounds fun though.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So how was Knoxville as a town overall? I mean, I've never been there, so
it's pretty beautiful. It's like your typical SEC college town like vibe, but it's a really cool school.
Rocky Top got the sweep on us this year. I think we swept them last year though.
Yeah.
You guys beat them both times you played them, and then the football team got the win as well.
Yeah, that was a big week.
So the tides kind of just turned this year, I guess.
Yeah.
You guys all stay in the same hotel too up there?
Yeah.
So that was probably fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your roommates there?
I was with Berkey.
Okay.
Olenek and Katz.
What a room!
What a room! Yeah,
good room.
That does sound fun.
And how was the game? You went to the football game, right?
I didn't go. I went back to. Well, we stayed in Pigeon Forge, so I went back to Pigeon Forge for dinner and watched the game on TV. But
right. It was it looked electric on TV.
It was.
I mean, I was watching it at home. I needed to be locked in on the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, Neon looked loud. DJ was like a little scared out there, but you know, he'll settle down this week and we'll figure it out.
He's got the full start now.
Yeah,
it's his team now.
It's his team.
It's DJ Lagway's team now, so I'm excited for it.
There's no love lost for the Tennessee fans. You walk around with your Gator merch, and it's just
Really, they were giving it to you?
Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
Every person without fail.
Really,
I was getting sick of it.
You gotta love that.
I was like, come on,
that's the SEC for you.
I was like, I didn't even say anything. Just kidding. Yeah.
Didn't even say anything. That's funny. So let's kind of move into Noah Horwitz off the ice. So everyone that comes on the pod gets this question.
Okay.
So the rink is closed. You don't have class that day. Classes are canceled. What is Noah Horwitz doing on a day off?
Ooh. Well, I spend a lot of time with my brother. We started getting into tennis a little bit.
Okay.
Really?
So sometimes in our free time we've been hitting some tennis. I had a pickleball phase.
Okay.
But I really like tennis.
All right.
That's not like the number one, but like
Yeah.
it's definitely something that I've been
You
doing a little bit more of. Yeah.
What kind of spurred that on? What was we need to play tennis?
I don't know. I think just like one day we were like in our garage. We were like, what are we gonna do? It's like see the tennis rackets. Let's go. And we were like, damn.
That's so funny.
It's because I beat him 6-0, 6-0, and he's like wanting redemption since.
He's like, we gotta keep playing.
Yeah,
like
keep
little
playing.
brother can't beat me. No
he hasn't
way.
beat me yet.
No way.
No, he hasn't beat me yet.
Wow.
So you guys are just like sparring partners pretty much.
Always.
Going back and forth,
Always.
getting better.
Dude, when you were like, what are we going to do? It reminded me of like Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
like looking around the
Yeah.
house like, what are we going to do today? You
Yeah.
know? That's funny. So, tennis Horwitz brothers. You got to love that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What else we got here?
Well, I think that's really cool. You said you were a business management major, right?
I'm administration. Yeah.
I'm a business administration,
Yeah.
right? So how's that been for you? Classes this year. I'm a sophomore as well,
Uh-huh.
so you're kind of really getting into the grind of it all, right?
Yeah, it's definitely ramping up some harder classes, but I'm kind of enjoying the material.
Yeah. And what are you interested in? What do you want to go into after school stuff?
I want to do sales. I added the professional selling minor. I like all things sales, people, just the way people think, the way people act.
Do you use that? Are you in a position with the team, the hockey team, that you kind of implement some of that stuff?
Yeah, as the vice president, I do a lot of, I guess, sales in
Right.
a way. Like a lot of, I book all the buses, the hotels,
Okay.
and all the stuff Berkey kind of like needs assistance with.
So you kind of had to arrange this whole trip in
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Was that a lot of moving parts? Like, what went into all that?
Yeah, it was pretty stressful, especially with the traffic in Atlanta. Like you don't really
Oh, yeah.
account for all those things. So yeah, like booking the bus and the bus driver can only work so many hours.
Yeah.
And that added a few. It was tough.
So how does that, like, I guess I never really thought about that. Like, does the bus driver, like, stay up there with you or in Tennessee?
Yeah, I had to book him a room.
You had to book him a
Yeah.
room. All right, so he's just rocking.
Yeah, he's with the boys.
He's rocking with
Yeah.
Gators hockey for the weekend.
that's
That's,
cool.
hey, I
Yeah.
can
We had like a big Gator bus. It was like
Oh, really?
So like Florida one side, Gators the
Really?
other. Is, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other road trips planned for the rest of the season?
Yeah, we got a few. We're going to Auburn and Alabama in just 2 weeks. So after the South Carolina weekend, we're going to Alabama, and then
Is that one trip? One trip
yeah,
to
it's
Alabama?
one trip. Yeah, I think it's Alabama first and Tuscaloosa, then we make our way over to Auburn, or
Got
vice
ya.
versa.
So you guys are just making your way around the SEC right now?
We are.
Yeah.
Well, this is SEC week.
So did you guys practice last night?
We did.
So you guys, jeez.
Yeah.
You guys don't get a break, man.
No.
Come to Tennessee on Friday, home on what, Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday night at like 2 a.m.
You got home at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Wow. So then you got Monday to kind of take it
Yeah.
a quick breath and then right back on the ice Tuesday night.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how are you guys preparing? You got South Carolina this weekend, going on the road to Alabama, but really got to focus in at home. South Carolina, one of the better teams, D1 national champions. You guys are D2 national champions last year. Now you're playing up on their level. It's going to be a big, steep challenge for y'all. How are you going to settle in for that one?
Well, we played them in the SEC tournament last year and beat them to win the SEC. So we definitely know who they are. Last year we played them twice in South Carolina. They packed their barn pretty well too, and they swept us. So we know their play style. We know how much talent they have. I feel like they're just like another Georgia in a way.
Yeah.
A lot of like fast, physical guys, but so are we. Like we can play to that style. We have played at that style. So I don't know. We had a pretty high tempo practice yesterday. We know what we have to change. We know what we can control. So that'll kind of dictate how this weekend goes.
Right, and we were talking to Berkey a little bit about how, it's more difficult for you guys with limited practice time, not having a rink in town. So it kind of, you got to implement in-game situations, adjust on the fly, and kind of, that's why it's a bit of a slower start for y'all. So how do you feel like you guys are kind of coming along now as the season is progressing? Had a difficult weekend in Knoxville, and now you have this turnaround, really a chance to kind of prove something.
Yeah, it's hard. Like we're always trying to like build on the way up. Like I know Berkey talked kind of like about the UCF weekend last year and how we got beat pretty bad, but we also had a game that weekend that we won, and it was a big weekend for myself actually.
I remember that one. Who could forget that one? The game winner.
That was
in overtime, yeah.
one of my favorite moments of college hockey.
Yeah.
But like we won some games, we lost some games at the beginning of the season, and then once we kind of like got our groove we ended the season like 10-0. So we just need to
Right.
get back to that groove of just like playing our style and having other teams kind of conform to us rather than us conform to them.
Yeah, and you guys are still kind of finding yourselves. It's early in the season.
It is early.
You guys made a jump to D1. And do you guys kind of feel like you have a little bit of a target on your back after winning the national championship last year and then winning the SECs as well? Now you're facing all these teams again?
100%.
Yeah.
Most of the chirps we get are like about the Natty in
Yeah.
some way. Like
Right.
against Georgia, that they were just barking about how we won the Natty.
Yeah.
And they want one too. So
Of course.
Yeah.
like it's 100% target on our back. Everyone knows who the Florida Gators are now.
Yeah. Last season kind of put you guys on the map. Now you
Yeah.
guys are kind of trying to keep that going. Yeah.
I like that. I mean, I think that's gonna help you guys throughout the season, especially when you get into kind of the almost getting into the tournament and the SEC tournament and then national tournament. When we get there, that kind of stuff that builds a team.
Definitely.
I think. So we'll talk a little bit more about. I mean, you grew up playing hockey, you and your brother. So were you involved in that? I think
I was involved
right?
a little bit.
So,
I played with Jacob actually on my first ever team
Okay.
in travel hockey. He was always around
Yeah.
at the stick and pucks. I'd see him at the rink all the time.
I used to sit with his dad in the stands.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, no. And vice versa during your games when I was
Yeah.
getting ready for a game, I'd see your parents, all that. So yeah, no, it's fun to see you guys like now,
Yeah.
still playing on the same team. So that's.
Jamie still got it. He can hop on.
Hey,
this
if I
whenever he
needed
wants.
to, I could probably get out there, but I haven't strapped up the skates in a long time. So
So take us through a little bit of your journey about how you got into hockey in South Florida, right? So what spurred that for you, and how was your journey growing up playing hockey?
I think it just like started as like a little roller thing. Like your parents buy you rollerblades, you just skate around the house a million times. And Jacob started ice, just doing like the learn of skates and stuff like that. And then he was on the Golden Wolves with Jamie, and by that time I could put on the real skates, and I started doing the same thing. And before like you even gained consciousness, you have like a skill, and you've been a part of something for a few years. So I just kind of continued with it. When I was, I think, 12 years old, there was a new AAA team called South Florida Hockey Academy that was run by like Ole Jokin and Thomas Walkoon, those guys. And I played there for 3 years. And then that team got, it ended. And then I went back to the Golden Wolves. And then that team became like the core of everything. And we moved up to the Alliance the year after.
Yeah.
So I was playing like AAA, AA hockey, like just growing up my whole life. I got to travel around the United States, so this whole travel thing's not too unique, but it's a little bit different in a car versus a plane.
yeah, for sure.
Did you do any boarding at any point?
No, but I did have the opportunity once to go to Israel and play
Oh,
for
wow.
the Maccabi.
Oh, did you went to Israel and played the Maccabi?
Yeah, I
games?
played for the Team USA.
What was that experience like?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So the first game we got there, and we had like a training camp in New York, and then we flew to Israel, and like every morning at like 6 a.m. we would like find ice somewhere, and we would just practice. And after we would like tour around the country, and then when it actually got to like game time, we get there and there's 11,000 people in the stands.
No way.
Wow.
And we're like,
That's probably the most you've ever played in front of, right?
Oh, 100%.
That's
It was because
insane.
it was before the opening ceremonies.
Yeah.
So every member of the Maccabi came and watched our game against Team Canada.
Yeah.
We lost 9-1.
Oh.
I mean,
Dang.
talk about embarrassment.
A rude awakening to the
it was
Maccabi
brutal.
games. Yeah.
So that was tough, but we had some amazing players.
Yeah.
Like our captain plays for Harvard now, and some guys on Canada are like drafted to different leagues and
Right.
OHL.
And what was the experience like over there, being in Israel, playing, with all those people around? Like, how was that? Like,
It was super special, super different.
Yeah.
Something I never even like thought that I would like get to. It kind of just like happens. Like,
Yeah.
it was really cool.
I don't know if you know the answer to this, but do you know how many countries were over there?
I don't, but I believe it's the third biggest sporting event in the world.
Really?
Like behind like the main Olympics and maybe
the World Cup? Yeah.
something like that.
Wow. That's really cool. I didn't know that it was that big.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Well,
really
they do it every 4 years in Israel, right?
Yeah, every 4 years.
Yeah, so that was probably like
Yeah.
that's cool that you kind of
Yeah.
got like the big moment there. 11,000, that's a big
Yeah.
that's a
but
big
then
farm.
after we lost 9-1, we got to play Canada again. We lost by a goal.
Okay.
And then later in the series again, we got them in the gold medal game. It was 4-4 overtime. And then a minute in, they scored. But it was
Dang.
just, it was
All right,
super.
we medaled.
We medaled.
Hey, yeah, silver medal.
I have a
It's
silver
not
medal
too
to my
shabby.
name.
Yeah. Well, like, dang, you guys lose 9-1 and then came back and lose
Yeah.
by a goal and then lose in overtime.
Yeah.
There must have just been an anomaly in that first game. Like, what was going on there?
I don't know. I think they just meshed and maybe we didn't.
Yeah.
They're probably used to playing around 11,000 hockey fans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
maybe.
Those Canadians, they can play.
Maybe the lights were a little bit bright in that first game.
I was looking around, gripping the stick a little hard.
Where was that arena at?
Jerusalem.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
In their basketball facility.
Okay.
Oh,
wow.
really?
Yeah.
What, they just froze it over? Or?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
moved everything out and put ice in.
Wow.
Is that separate? They have a summer and a winter games, or is it?
No, I
one?
think it's everything at once.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, that's definitely like an experience that not many players have got to have. I mean, that's something I know Ethan was over in Argentina when they had
That's
it
pretty
there.
cool.
Nate was over in London, so
Yeah.
you got the whole shebang there in Israel. So that's really awesome.
It was very cool.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think we're pretty much out of time here. You got to get to class.
I do.
But we thank you for joining us
I appreciate
on
it.
this Wednesday morning. And that's going to do it for this episode of Swamp Slapshot. I'm Jamie Goldman. As always, Rob Russo. Thanks, Noah
Thank you for
Horwitz.
having me.
And go Gators. We'll see you this weekend against South Carolina. And as always, you can find us on all of our social media platforms at OBSN Gators. And you can find all of Florida Gators hockey on the Orange and Blue Sports Network, the home of Florida Gators club hockey.